Part 2 of exposure therapy. Sorry guys, I just don't know how to do the flip on the phone, so I did that. As I was saying, that's Pavlovian, basically Pavlovian conditioning, they call it. You're conditioned a certain way to act, right? You'll salivate even without the food. And so it's kind of like the same thing. And, you know, I'll click on some of these links on YouTube. They say things like, for example, exposure therapy didn't help my phobia, or, you know, try this now. This might help. You know, I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of these things. Just hold on a second. I'm taking pills. Yeah, I mentioned this before. These ideas, like these, I call them New Age. Okay, no offense to these people. You know, you believe what you want to believe. This is a Muslim psychological channel. This is primarily a psychological channel. I'm Muslim. I don't have very much affiliation with New Age people or the occult. I believe though that type of stuff, you know, it's you know, people say, for example, do like hypnosis or like I don't know, maybe it's like some of the stuff on YouTube, it's like exposure therapy did not help, and then it's like some other thing helped. Well, what's the other thing? Let's be honest, a lot of it's pseudoscience, right? For the longest time, I thought it was a jinn, which is in Islam like a devil that possesses people, and that's when I finally realized that no, when you actually put a name to it, you realize it's not some nebulous, you know, evil force that's forcing you to be anxious. It's rather because of a trauma you had that's leading to you basically teaching yourself to be scared of something that isn't scary. And that's another thing I want to say. This is one of the things I see. This is one of the things I see a lot in my studies of exposure therapy. A lot of the people who have these specific phobias had a traumatic event that precipitated it. I can definitely understand this woman's traumatic event on Maury, even though I'm never gonna put Maury back on ever. I think he's just like basically a shameless whore for points. I'm serious. If you had any care, Maury, you're lying. You're saying you care for these people, and sure, you gave them free therapy, probably. Yeah, not before humiliating them, right, over the entire country, over the entire audience. So that's not cool. So having said that, I can definitely understand where she's coming from with her flower phobia, because she said that she was picking flowers one day, and when she picked the flower, ants were basically in the flower. I guess there was ant colonies or a bunch of ants, or the flower was near an ant colony. So when she picked up the flower, all the ants started crawling on her hand, and her hand and her arm, and she got very scared. And so she ran into a pool, and she almost drowned. I get that, right? Your body's going through a lot of trauma real fast. He doesn't have a lot of time to you know, process those traumas or deal with them in a healthy manner, and so it starts thinking anything remotely related to that trauma, you know, it becomes heightened. Your fear becomes heightened, right? With the bees, remember the guy with the bees? Same with the flowers. Same with my choking, right? You could, at some point in your life, pick up a flower and have a bunch of ants go on your arm. That'd be horrifying, sure. And you may be so horrified you might even run into the a pool you're near. You may at some point be working on air conditioner and open it up and a whole bunch of bees fly out you. That may happen. And you may at one point be eating pierogies and you know, think you're choking because you maybe didn't chew them enough, or you were high, or you were dealing with different things in your life. These things happen. to believe it's going to happen every single time you do it is a phobia. And that's what your brain tricks you into doing, into thinking. Right? It's not going to happen every single time. Where's the evidence it's going to happen every single time? I've been doing it for 3 months. Has it happened every single time? No. People assume that though, and then they don't do the exercises, and then they do what's known as like avoidance behaviors, or they avoid doing that, which is really very very big deal. For example, if it's something important you have to do, like eating. Or for him, it was something about like his livelihood. He repaired air conditioners, right? And so he lived in a climate where there was bees, so he had to deal with bees all the time. This is like survival, you know. You can't just like forget that you have to do certain things that, whether you like them or not, whether you're scared of them or not, you kind of have to do, or they're going to affect you, like your life and your ability to make money and have a nice family and all those things. All right, so yeah, no Maury. I'm sorry. You know, I think Maury was doing flooding therapy. Those Maury shows are basically flooding therapy in a nutshell. You show the patient all the scary things that they're scared of. You see how many flowers they brought up and the pictures of flowers, and then you have her basically stay there and be committed until the anxiety comes down. The other problem is the person was committed. That's the main problem with flooding therapy. The person doesn't get committed. They get too scared. You need to break it down into small manageable pieces, or else you get too scared. I don't know what Maury was thinking. I know what he was thinking. He was thinking cheap. He was thinking cheap, whatever ratings for his, you know. And it's sad. That's what a lot of people with mental illness are looked at nowadays. Like somebody to make fun of, somebody to be profited off of, right? Somebody to be used. You don't see mental health people as strong people anymore. Right? Strong, you know, it's people who have gotten over their mental health that are strong. People who have mental health problems are also strong too. And I don't know. Sometimes I'm in one category, sometimes in the other. Sometimes I feel like I've gotten over my mental illness, and sometimes I feel like I'm struggling with it. You know, it varies from day by day. It depends on how the day you're having. Like, depends on how many assholes you meet. Quite honest with you, it depends on how much of an asshole you are and how many assholes you meet. And what I mean by that is, it's like a cycle. If you meet an asshole and then they treat you bad, so then you're gonna treat the other asshole bad. It's called like transference, right? Transference. So you know, like your parents beat you, so you're gonna beat your kids. It's transference. Instead of actually dealing with why did my dad beat me. I'm not saying my father beat me. I'm just saying hypothetically, right? This is what happens sometimes with people. You know, they don't kind of, you know, bring to the fore the issue of, well, why is my father an alcoholic? Why is he beating me? What's going on? Does he hate his job? Was his boss mean to him? Is this emotional transference? How can we healthily get away from this in adaptive coping mechanisms, right? It's just a big way of saying how do we all get over it and kind of be relaxed and not want to chop each other's heads off and beat each other up. So this is my choking phobia video. I don't know how much longer I'm going to make it. I don't know what else to talk about. That video tomorrow looks very informative. I really want to get through it tomorrow. I'm a really big fan of the videos where it's like a lot of text and reading, because I think there's so much to say about phobias and choking phobias and psychology that a lot of me is just me just like talking blah 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 blah. When there's someone who has like a structure to their sentences, it's much more like professionally made. I think more people will like it then as well. All right, so it's really early today. Oh yeah, full disclosure, I also had a croissant earlier, a cheese croissant and 2 slices of cheese. I was planning on having a bagel too. It's just like I burnt the bagel in my toaster. So it's the second time I burnt a bagel. I don't know how to cook bagels anymore. I think this is a skill I've lost. I used to learn how to cook bagels. You know, no, I don't. So it's like you lose some skills. You know, when you get older, like you learn how to do exposure therapy, you forget how to cook a bagel. Fair trade, in my opinion. Right? You just go to Tim Hortons and ask the person, "Can you please just toast my bagel?" Because obviously I don't know how to use a toaster. You know. So yeah, there was something I don't want to discuss that happened yesterday. That, let's just say, it was something that caused a bit of angst with me at work. And it's one of those things I'm dealing with and processing. I don't think discussing it on YouTube would help. I honestly think it's a stupid problem. It's one of those problems that's probably gonna blow over in like a week, and then I'm not gonna think about it. Just right now, I'm in the moment. It's fresh, and it's just it's kind of interfering with my relaxation that I try to get. Like I try to get into a relaxed mode and mood before I do my exposures. And today I could feel it wasn't. That's why it wasn't at 11. Something was bothering me with I couldn't just get into that relaxed mode. I call it like, it's like you live in anxiety. Wherever anxiety is, you live there. And you get into this mode and you develop these tools and you do them before your exposure. And it's very hard to do them if you're not relaxed or if you have a bad day. That's just one of the problems with dealing with exposure therapy is if you have a bad day, your anxiety is going to get bad because you're going to think about it a lot, you're going to ruminate about it, you're going to obsess about it. And it's unhealthy because you need to be focused on what you need to do at this point, which is exposure therapy, and being mindful and watching your behavior and your breathing and you know, everything. Basically, your behavior and your breathing and focusing on, you know, what you're doing and giving yourself high fives for every little thing you're doing. And when you're thinking about some stupid thing that happened earlier, you don't have, you know, you're thinking about that. It's very hard to relax. You know, it's just so many people nowadays are so rude. They're very rude. Dude, so many people nowadays are in too much of a hurry to be places. And they're very critical of others driving. And I, to a certain extent, I'm also critical of people's driving. So, I don't know how it developed. It's like one day everyone just woke up and got this secret message to, you know, be assholes. Really, it's like, be assholes now. It's like everyone with their alarm clock. It says, you know, now's the day to be an a-hole. It's just like, I don't know why people are like this. You know, like, some person at my job said I wasn't doing my job correctly, and they actually complained to my boss. And when I explained to my boss that I actually was doing my job correctly, I thought to myself, why do I even have to explain this to my boss? I don't get it. Anyway, I haven't heard anything back from them. I'm gonna call them tomorrow because it's just like ridiculous. At the same time, it's like I've been doing this long enough that I think no one really is gonna question how I do things because I haven't really gotten complaints from anybody. And you know, when I work, I tell people if I'm not gonna be in, if I'm gonna check out early. I always take the orders I have, except for sometimes. Like, let's be honest, most couriers with Skip the Dishes filter their orders, and for me, most of the times, I'll be honest, most of the times I don't filter my orders. Most of the times I just take every order I get, except for McDonald's and a couple of restaurants I blacklist because I've either had problems with them personally or they're just not, they're very slow at getting the food out. Like McDonald's and other restaurants. I'm not gonna name names. Anyway, so I walked into this one restaurant today and this woman was just incredibly rude to me. I've never really in a long time felt a rudeness like that. It was just almost like, you're different, therefore I'm gonna pick on you, therefore do what I do because I like your little power trip. You know, I don't want to get into it. Let's just suffice to say that I was picking up from a restaurant and she didn't like, I guess, the fact that I had an older bag, and she asked me to put the food in my bag before I left. And I thought to myself, why are you telling me to do this? Why are you telling me to do something that, like, you know, I have the bag, you know, if you don't want to give me the food because you believe I won't use the bag, that's your choice. Well, you gave me the food, didn't you? You said, can you please put the food in the bag? I did. And when I explain to you the next time that I'm not going to because it's too much of a hassle for me sometimes when it's busy, you complained and said, I'm not using my bag, which is not true because I am. It's ridiculous. I brought the bag inside. Why would I just bring it inside just to show you I'm using it? Like, why waste? Why pick up a bag? You know, it's cumbersome, it's stupid, it's big, it's anyway. These things aren't important at the end of the day. This woman's obviously, you know, just is trying to protect her business, and you can understand that. And you need to understand that she's just trying to live her life, man. She's trying to just do what she needs to do, and she's basically trying to live her life, and you shouldn't give her a hard time because of this. Okay, crap. I'm out of marijuana. I was gonna smoke a marijuana joint. It's gone. I have to go to the dispensary, which doesn't open till like 10. This sucks. What am I gonna do? the dispensary is open until 10. I don't have any weed on me. Yeah, I really don't. All, as far as I know, all the joints I smoked. Let me see here. What do we have here? Cigarettes. I'm not sure if I have. I had a joint. I smell something. I think it's just the weed. Yeah, no, there's no joint in here, man. I had a small joint yesterday. I just thought I had more. You know what it is? You buy these gram joints. And I complained about this before. You buy the gram joints, and you know, half of it you can't smoke because it's canoeing, and then you end up with like, you know, you end up with like a half a joint when you pay for a full joint. And now I'm you know, what am I doing? I'm looking around for like one joint I might find. I don't think I will. I'm pretty sure when I have no weed, I have no weed. I'm just gonna check one more time because you never know. Sometimes in my glove compartment there may be a tiny bit of marijuana. I highly doubt it. It's always good to check rather than just give up. So let me see here. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I don't think we have anything for today. It's kind of sucks because I just threw out the smallest little marijuana joint I had, and I actually had a joint I threw out the day before. I should have been more on top of this. Like, how do I not know I need more weed? So it's like 7, I think. The dispensary doesn't open till 10, so I have 3 hours to kill. This kind of sucks. I'm not sure what to do for 3 hours now. Let me see. No, 6:30 dispensary. 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 3.5 hours. I'm not sure what to do for 3.5 hours now. See, I had this weed my friend gave me. You know, when it's like indica and I like sativa, and it's just so annoying because a dispensary that I go to doesn't have half-gram pre-rolls of sativa. They give you 1 grams, and it's like, screw that. I'm not paying for 1 gram because it's gonna canoe. So I'm gonna go to the dispensary. Yeah, I'm gonna go to a different dispensary. They sometimes have better stuff. They have stuff like, I prefer mid-grade marijuana, low to mid-grade. I prefer low to mid-grade marijuana, but preferably is like just a little higher than low grade. Not too mid though. Something you can smoke like a half gram of, and after about like, you know, 3/4 of smoking it, you can be like, you know what, I'm stoned, and if I'm driving, I should put it away. I'm not saying I drive and I'm stoned. I'm just saying, like, just as how you should be thinking about it. Like, if I was gonna drive, I should put it away. And if I'm not driving, keep smoking it. Like, it's safe enough that you can smoke a whole spliff and still be like, you'll be stoned. You won't be as stoned as if you're just like smoke a whole gram, right? Because most people, when they smoke a joint, they want to smoke the whole thing. People that, you know, don't. It's just one of those pluses when you smoke a whole spliff. It's like, yeah, I smoked the whole thing, rather than keeping it and then finding it again and losing it and then where to go. You know? Not much else to talk about. I'm just kind of pissed off that, I don't know, you know, dispensary doesn't open until 10. And, you know, I could be thinking, well, it could be worse. We could live in a country where marijuana is illegal. It just sucks when you're expecting to do something and then it doesn't happen. I think it's called disappointment. I know it's called disappointment. It's just when people have OCPD, which is something I haven't really talked about a lot in this channel. I will probably next video or the video after that. Probably after, after these videos, this set of videos about whatever it is that guy was talking on my tablet about anxiety and classical conditioning and operant conditioning and Pavlovian, all that stuff. After that, I'm thinking hopefully we'll get into some definitions and basically laying out an outline of what is OCPD. This sucks. Alright guys, this is the end of the video. It went from 11 to 10. Alright, basically. And remember guys, stay with it.